They being, okay. Now, hold up the signs. Being 7:07, and we being an hour right mind. Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
Oh, that's not right.
This is the hybrid meeting of Pacc, some in person, some via Zoom. I will do a roll call shortly. The link is up on the town website under the calendar. You can find it there. I will do votes by roll call. And if there are any members of the public, they're welcome to come in and can use the raise hand technique if they need to talk at the appropriate moment. So first off, if I do roll call, Pete, are you here?
Here.
Faith
Yes.
and Steve.
Present.
And Steve is present and Joe is with us as always. Are you not, Joe? Yes, you are. Okay, let me get the marked up agenda. Here we go. So, okay, any public comments? I always check over there just in case. No public comments? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did roll call. It's been a long day. Committee comments. I have some. If anyone else wants to go
I have
first, that's-
several. Why don't you do yours first?
Okay. I went to the FinCom, gave them our presentation, which they seemed happy with. There were a couple of questions. Finding the pieces of paper. So I did a little more work on trying to find out. One question was on cable cutting, what that means to our revenue. That's perennially a question. Happens every year. The numbers just came out, and I can hold on up, Joe, Faith, but I only just did that this afternoon. So
I'll listen. I'll listen carefully.
it's not long. I mean, all that I want is that the committee, if they're comfortable with what I've done here, I can include it in the presentation if I have to at town meeting. So what I did is I took out of the spreadsheet, which only came out today, of the cable subscribers for the past 20 odd years for all the different communities in Massachusetts. This is one of the biggest spreadsheets I've ever seen in my life. And it is also done by company. So you have to find the Comcast sheet, find Lunenburg on that sheet, find the years you want on that sheet, suck it all out. So I did do that and made, which Steve just showed you, a much smaller spreadsheet. So in just 2019, we lost 58 subscribers, okay, out of 3,350. I'm just using rough numbers here. 2020, to another 201 net went down, and 2021, which is the latest one, it went down by 135. Of those 2020, it went down by 6.4% roughly. I then took the numbers from our actual income, because there's a constant confusion. If you reduce the number of subscribers doesn't mean the revenue necessarily goes down, because the ones you've still got may change their services.
Oh,
So Comcast themselves may push their prices up, which would have a similar effect.
yeah, it's a percentage, right? It's 5% is what we get.
Oh, we get 5% of their gross video services revenue, correct?
Right. Okay.
Okay, so the annual, so the whole, and I'm working with calendar years for now, okay? Because that's the way the cable subscriber numbers come out, not in financial years.
Right.
So the annual fee for 2020 was 199,600 or so. For 2021, it was 195,831. which is down by just under 2%. Now, the note that came out with the spreadsheet from David Gauthier, and he was looking at the whole picture for, I believe, whatever mass access covers. He said it was down 8%, which is not what we're seeing. We knew we were doing better than that, but it may depend on demographics, it may depend on developments in the town, all sorts of things can change. So, but essentially, if the question is asked of me at the town meeting, these are the numbers I want to use. So if people are comfortable with them, I'd appreciate the committee approving that I can do that.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Oh, are you taking notes? Thank you so much.
What is the mo, this is for?
Oh, to
what is it
use the
called?
updated subscriber counts. That's more than enough.
Any idea why the decline?
Because people do cut. You know why these numbers go down? Yes. Because people stop taking cable and do streaming instead.
Yeah,
We only get revenue on cable, not on internet.
No, we only get, you're almost right, we only get revenue on video services over
Video,
cable,
that's,
not,
right.
not internet over cable. That's
right. But,
I
thank you.
really
It's
try
video.
and keep
I
it-
know.
Yeah, I know.
I know what you
But
mean.
this will just cause things to get confused if we don't get it right. So,
Steve, if anyone asks you what the trend is, what would you say to summarize it?
well,
I mean, it's,
trend overall is no more than, actually, if you go back to February, not to February, to 2019,
19.
our revenue, 2019, I've got it in a slide somewhere.
I mean, it sounds like it's only gone down like 2%, you said,
It's gone down. and went-
compared to the statewide 8%.
Right. The August of 19, the payment we got in August of 2019,
Yep,
essentially the same as the payment we got in February of 22.
right,
We're close to being flat. We're certainly not at
okay,
8%. You know, it's a very slightly negative, but nothing significant.
okay, so it's pretty stable.
Yeah. I believe there are rumors about work going on to try and bring a 40B apartment complex to town, which, so I was asking what size it was. And the answer I got was it'll start at about 200, but they'll probably only take one cable drop and split it amongst all the apartments. That wasn't very kind. So as we change, like the development at Wylam Lake, was that 2011? Does somebody know? Because we had a jump in subscribers in 2000.
Mm,
So, and I'm assuming it was something like that, because that was a big development.
That sounds about right.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Now you're
We
ready.
need to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Any further
I
discussion?
already wrote that.
Hearing none, all, Pete, by roll call.
Aye.
Faith,
I,
Steve,
Aye.
Steve. So being unanimous, motion passes. Thank you very much. Bits of paper being shuffled around.
Was that your only comment?
No, I had another one. Oh, I know what. What's up the agenda? Here it is, same page, yeah. No, that's under communications. Oh, the other question that I got, just so you know ahead of time, this doesn't need motions or anything. Somebody asked me why they can't read the spreadsheet on standard definition television. So I told them that all our equipment from end to end is high definition. And we actually had to spend extra money to put a converter on the end to make it standard definition.
Hmm.
Right now, we have a letter that allows us to pursue a high definition channel. But given that we have no understanding of how much that would end up costing us, we haven't pursued it at this point. Okay. remember the number somebody told us was $30,000 for a high def channel
Something like
when
that.
they first started those
Yeah,
discussions. It was
yeah.
ridiculous. So anyway, these are questions may come up. They came from the finance committee. So that's good. Pete, you're up.
Okay, I have three things. First, is to compliment Joe.
Oh,
I think that the program you did with JP and Lynn is the best thing this channel has ever done.
thank
I
you.
think that was absolutely outstanding. It was touching, well edited, wonderful.
Thank
It was a
you.
wonderful show. I couldn't
Good.
get over how good it was.
Excellent.
JP called me up and thanked me.
Did he?
Yeah,
Especially
so did
walking
we.
around Hannaford, so it cracked me up.
Well, Paul did a great job
Yeah.
recording it. Yeah,
That was great.
LYNN for that.
That's a love story, like you called it.
mhm.
Second, I've been in touch with Pam Porter a lot about stories, and she told me that we could have free space in the service directory if we wanted it.
Mhm.
And she'd be glad to provide it. And this is the one that, speaking of Paul, he has for his
Drone service.
drone services.
Yeah.
And we could have about that much space,
Mhm.
which would be a great place to put our homegrown programs in.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped doing it
Did we
a
pay-
few years ago.
do we
No,
have to pay for it?
No.
no,
free.
we've
No, you're
always,
saying this would be free now.
Yeah.
it
I
was free
wondering if
then.
It was free
Yeah.
then as well.
Yeah.
Is that something,
I stopped around COVID time.
is that something maybe one of the committee could do as part of his job? Do you know,
Sure. I mean, I can, yeah, I can do
I mean,
that.
special program like this one on Lynn, I think people should know about.
Yeah,
Look, or regular ones like story time, those things, know when they're on.
yeah.
So they're good if it's different every week? It isn't a static one that we put in.
Yeah,
once.
they could change it every
We
week.
change it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as
wondering.
you put it in by Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just an offer.
Yeah, no, we've done it and,
Yeah.
and I've been happy doing it. When COVID started, I stopped doing it because we weren't offering
Cool.
much.
Oh, yeah, I think we need to be in there. This
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good
The
pickup.
third thing, as you all heard today, Jeff has decided to resign
Yeah,
from
I've got
committee.
that under communications. Yeah.
And this is absolute serendipity because I've been hoping to get a chance to get Paul involved in this committee. Last Saturday, he wrote to me, involved with something else. He said, as you know, I have 40 years working in CATV broadcasting, film, radio, and education. I think there's a lot I could bring and I can make all or most of the meetings. Feel free to tell anyone that I'm willing and able to step in at any time. I think we should grab him. Best AP.
I understand what you're saying, but we do have a procedure to get through.
Okay.
I'm sure you understand.
I know the procedures. Jeff has to write a letter of resignation to the selectmen.
And to me,
And then we have to vote,
what comes to me. as
and then
well.
we have to vote on it,
Yeah.
and then send that vote to the select.
Mhm.
But there are
But there's no reason he couldn't come to meetings
Yeah,
as
we
a
were-
member of the public and
Deb and I just went up and checked the talent bank to see, because we have 2 openings in this in the senior center,
Oh,
and there are no entries in the talent bank for Pacc. So there's no other candidates. That
So
want
he
this.
probably needs to just fill out a talent bank
Period.
form.
That's all he has
Yeah.
to do.
we're going
Mhm.
to do 2 steps with this Jeff situation.
Well, I know they are. I'm just saying that I think
Oh,
he is, what he's done with the Sentinel, I mean, the
Yeah.
Ledger is keeping alive. His article's wonderful.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I've seen those. But he does need to do a talent bank form.
Yeah, yeah,
He does have to go through the board of selectmen.
I know.
I'm not even sure, do you think we get a vote on it as well?
What
not
we're
sure we
supposed to do is we recommend to school, to the select board.
Yeah,
I don't. Not like
I
I
should
should
know
school.
because it's in the,
you know, before,
Yes, but just recently we had a member die. And she was replaced without going through anything. So,
before the selectmen voted on my talent bank offering, they suggested I go to meetings
Oh, yeah.
of the cable. commission, and I did before I was ever appointed by the selectmen. So I think it would be nice to invite him to come to a meeting and we would get a chance to get to meet him.
He has been here, Faith. He's been to a meeting.
I'm sorry, I don't recall.
You might not have been at that
He was
one.
here.
Uh-huh,
I might have been having a surgery.
yeah. Okay,
So this is a recommendation at this point.
Yes,
That's right. I'm
Yes.
just trying to find out where we're at. Okay. Don't think we need to do anything on it right at this moment,
no,
except
just you,
would you have input at talent?
yes, I will. And is it okay if I invite him to come to our meetings? at
Oh,
this
he's
point?
always welcome.
Oh, I know that. I mean,
Yep.
You could even bring your wife if you want.
well, if we had meetings before dark, she wouldn't have to drive me, but I can't drive after dark.
yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch, any further committee comments? Hearing none. The communications, as was just mentioned. Jeff is in the process of wanting to resign from the committee because he doesn't feel he can give it due time. The process, as I understand it, please tell me if I've blown this one as well, he has to send a letter of resignation to the chair of the Board of Selectmen and to me.
Yep.
The Board of Selectmen accept it. I don't think it involves us at that point.
No.
And then the vacancy will be posted in the normal process of things. But if there's something in the talent bank that makes sense, it can be brought up to the Board of Selectmen. Is that good? No, tell me.
Well, it was just a little overlooked in the last one. I don't know.
What was overlooked?
I'm just wondering
Thumbs down.
if there's something that we do as a committee to thank Jeff for his years of service.
I was actually about to make a motion. We should wait till we get his letter of resignation.
Yes, of course.
Don't have that. But I was going to make a motion knowing that we're getting that we recognize his time and expertise that he's brought to the committee for the past, it was 2014 he came on, so it's like 7 years. And if that's the case, I'm making that as a motion, which Steve is busy writing down.
Yeah, I've already said.
Okay, I'll second it.
Steve
Faith
already
in
did.
second.
He's writing faster than you can speak, Faith, so.
Yes, I'm sure he is.
You can see into the future.
And any further discussion on that? Hearing none. Pete,
Aye.
Faith, Steve,
Aye.
Steve. Thank you all. So, but we shouldn't do it till we get the actual letter
Right,
dealt
this
with.
is
Correct.
pending.
Pending, good work. Know where that came from.
That's right. You know I'm gonna
Excellent work.
write these.
The only other thing I have under
David.
communications is I did send the warrant in to Elaine, is that the right one?
Yes, Peterson, yeah.
Peterson asked for a acknowledgement that they got it and did get such acknowledgement. So we should be in the town meeting, because if we're not, we're in a bundle of, well, we're not in a bundle of trouble, we just have fun. Joe's in a bundle of trouble. Don't get any money for the next financial year. Anyone have anything else under
What's the date of the town meeting?
7th.
7th of May this year?
7th.
Yeah. It's a Saturday. Of course. So, review and approve the meeting minutes from February and March meeting. I found the March ones, I didn't find.
I
February
emailed
ones.
you. I emailed everyone. Oh,
Yeah.
You did it twice.
Yeah, I did it twice.
Oh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got the March one twice, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I thought I sent out the
You may well have done.
March. Oh, yeah, I got 2 March ones here.
Yeah, that's what I ended up with.
Steve's in the March.
No, I'm wondering if one of them was
March Madness.
mislabeled, so we'll have to, anyone have a copy of the February one?
That's a triple one.
Didn't you send the
Let's see.
February one out like right after the meeting?
Yeah.
You sent it out like
No,
the
no
next
idea
day.
you did, but you know, I don't remember what I had for breakfast. So how the hell do you expect me to remember that?
That's why I sent this out again, because
Yes,
you
you
keep
did.
saying,
I know.
All right, I didn't bring a copy of the February one because I thought, oh, because I don't think I have a copy. of it. Oh, did you?
Let's see.
We can't approve something if we don't have an actual copy here. That's the problem.
I don't believe we can.
I think was sent to Jeff. No, there's March. I have more March meetings. Nope, I don't have February. So I moved to pass over February.
Okay, so
So
are we allowed to just do the March one?
Yep.
Okay,
So all in favor of passing over?
well, we still have to do it. We table it.
Yeah, table.
I mean, we should do it at some,
We have to do it the next meeting.
yeah, but then it has to get posted to the town website.
All right, March. Well, then I have lots of copies of the March because
Marching right along. Oh, sorry. I have some comments on it.
oh,
Roll call, excuse Jeff Badger code. So,
I spelled that wrong.
and then under the committee comments, Mr. Wacker, whoever Mr. Wacker is.
That's stop it. So.
No, no.
I know where you're going.
That's the Welsh.
That's the Welsh version.
All right.
I'll give you some other name. Okay, what else did I have? Oh, yeah, under lighting quotes, motion to authorize the manager not to exceed $15 seemed a little,
That's a common.
yeah, that would be a slight problem. And, okay, that's all I've got. at this point.
How about you, Pete?
other than that, no.
Okay, so make a motion to accept the March minutes as amended.
Second,
Faith just be it. Yeah. I think she did. Any further discussion on the March minutes? Hearing none by roll call. Pete. Aye. Faith, who seems to have disappeared.
oh, that's because I was looking at the minutes
Okay,
in another, in my mail. So I say aye.
aye, Steve,
Aye.
and me, aye. Thank you all.
I may be out of order, but I'd bring something up. I'd like to nominate Steve as our permanent secretary. I believe we've lost that fast.
We haven't lost.
We haven't
it
lost
yet,
it.
But
well,
we have to wait.
It's all right,
till
I'll
after
do it for tonight.
resignation.
It's gonna happen, I know, but
He knows it's
you gotta wait till we officially, he is still the secretary.
Right.
He has not officially
We
resigned.
can make him pro tem or something like that. Thank you.
You do a really good job, by the way.
Oh, thanks, yes. You wait,
Flattery will get you everywhere.
you wait.
Okay, managers monthly report.
Okay, there's not too much tonight. I'm gonna find my report. We received the truss, as you could see, and the lighting truss. And the lights, by the way, it's Joe McLaughlin speaking. And by the way, yeah, the lights will be delivered probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks. I'm writing a letter in support of the STEM program that the library is seeking a grant for. I was asked by the head librarian to write a letter for that, so I'm working on that.
Support for
They're
them
gonna,
having some program or us helping them in the program.
them having a program.
Okay.
I was just asked to write a letter for them. I recorded, edited, and is now airing the Neshoba Associated Boards of Health PSA. They contacted us about it. They wanted to run some graphics on the bulletin board, but I said, hey, our studio's open if you want to do that
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
So they came in and they were happy about that.
Cool.
As Pete said, I edited the JP and Lynn story.
Great.
I worked with Paul Serapis.
It's awesome.
Yeah, getting a phone call from JP was really something special.
Yeah.
I
I was-
appreciated that.
Haven't seen it. It's a really moving program. but
Mm. Went on a field trip to Pepperell with Steve Walker and Travis to look into a portable switcher.
Wait. To where? Where you went to Pepperell?
Pepperell.
What did you see?
A portable switcher, AV Matrix. AV
I'm just writing
Matrix.
portable switcher.
And that went well. In fact, we ordered it. And I got an email today from the vendor that our PO has run out. So I'm getting a line item, I requested a line item transfer into that
Get it
purchase
in
order.
time for the sixth graders.
Probably not.
So I'm a total Luddite. What's a switcher?
It switches cameras back and forth.
Oh.
It's like.
Looks like a keyboard.
Thing we had on the frame, but this now has been reduced to.
Also,
a
the guy from
fat-
Chapter.
It's a fat
Yep.
laptop now. If it had wheels, it would be the mobile.
Yeah, well, we could probably get this.
Could you give them a weepy call? See if there's a way they can get it to us before then, because otherwise you'll have to do the sixth graders with the present setup.
It's fifth graders and we
Sixth
would
grade,
only
whatever.
do, the C3PU is a mess right now. John couldn't get it to work last time. I don't think Travis is available to do it. Those two are the main people that know how to run it. So we're going to have to do a single camera live.
Okay, time for a weekly call. Do it.
Sure, I don't
That'd be
think, I don't
nice.
even have to weep. I can get it done.
See if there's any way we can get it.
Well,
Really?
first I have to clear up the finances through,
yes,
to get
yes.
the line item transfer.
Right.
I sent an email late today, so I'll talk to someone in the finance department tomorrow.
What is a week? She's tough.
Well, I know.
That's
It's a
right.
lot more
I grew up with
effective,
4
lot more
brothers.
effective, right?
I interviewed Brian, who is a student at the ACE program. And he's going to come and work with us. It's for students that are perhaps developmentally delayed or have special needs of some kind.
Right.
He's 19 and he's interested in doing some work with us. The interview went very well.
It's a high school program.
Yes. Well, no, it's after high school,
Post high school. Okay.
post high school.
Does he need somebody with him or is?
He will have someone with him when he comes. I have a number of things around the studio that need to be done. And also, I think I can give him a small project and we'll see how he does.
Excellent.
The production technician job was posted last week. I've only seen one resume from that.
Which is unbelievable.
Had a lot of spelling errors in it.
Oh, it did, but his, experience, I don't see why he would want the job. It's just
True.
way
True.
over the top, so we have to decide whether to bring him in for interview. But let's get a couple more in first. if we
Sure.
can.
Yes, I want to do that.
Thanks.
Just as a couple of side notes, we had 2 more affiliates sign up last month for our Mass Access Telview programs. Plymouth, Massachusetts, and Newbury, the town of Newbury, Massachusetts. And I checked it out. They're both downloading Talking Baseball.
Great.
So,
Oh, good.
yeah. I did a lot of studio cleanup. Not that you can tell at the moment, but
She has a way.
I did.
You didn't take the green checks.
I took away all the stuff on top of there. We moved a cabinet in, which will need painting. I think Brian might be a good candidate to do the painting. We removed the old electronic equipment and stored it in with the town, where the town files are. So It doesn't look like it, but we did a tremendous amount of cleanup.
So did C3PU go there?
No, that's in
They
one of the
still have that,
cabinets.
this is equipment that's still usable out of
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not gonna
there.
take that. Yeah.
Just checking.
Also, I reviewed numbers with Steve Walker prior to the FinCom presentation. We have, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader this month, next week? And we're having some camera problems with the small Sonys that we have. They keep turning off and on. One of them does anyway, keeps turning off and on. So I've got to figure out what's going on with that. They're well beyond their warranties, so.
Are they overheating?
They're turning off and on. I'm not sure.
Check to see if they're overheating.
Okay,
We ran into some cameras last month that you had to make sure the viewpoint, you had to make sure it was all opened up so
mhm,
they wouldn't overheat.
okay,
And cameras will, I guess, cameras shut down if they overheat.
okay,
I don't know if yours do.
yeah.
Is there some kind of fan or something?
No, there's no
No.
fan in there. I don't know. Kayla had a problem with it. She brought it in and I checked it out and true enough, it was turning off and on by itself.
Okay, well, probably it's not it.
It can be also dirty battery terminals to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, so we gotta fix that problem. As far as the packet that I gave you, our ending balance for March was $890,290. $892.90.
Okay,
And the trial balance is there and the town financial report is there. As far as calendars, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Kayla's been quite busy this month.
who is Patrick?
Patrick McQueen is our new videographer. Yeah, he's doing well. He's now been trained enough to do the control room for the meetings at town hall.
He was there when I did the finance committee.
Yeah. Yep, he's doing a good job. So, yeah, there's nothing really. The only new meetings that we've started to take on are the municipal building design committee. They used to always do their own meetings and record them. But now when we're available, or if there's no other meetings going on, we'll broadcast that. We were broadcasting that tonight. What did you say?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
You were
Um,
broadcasting it live?
Yes,
Okay.
a Zoom broadcast. As far as our program analysis, again, I mentioned the programs that I added this month. Oh, I forgot to number them. But they were the PSA, a couple of concerts that Kayla did, and the JP and Lynn love story, which brings us up to 56% local programming and 44 downloaded or shared programming.
Good.
And
Good
the
trend.
excuse me?
Good trend.
Yeah, we got to keep that going.
Yeah, you're coming back from the whole COVID scene and
Yep.
it'll take a while to get back to where we were, but
Yeah,
the trend is good.
it is good. It's going good. And the last page is just a copy of the order that I made for the AV matrix switcher.
Can I make a suggestion on that last page? It says FedEx ground. I think under the circumstances, if they will do overnight.
Well, once I get the financial thing, I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, if they'll do an overnight and
Mhm.
it's doesn't double the price of the invoice, then
No, it doesn't.
let's do that, because I really think it would be great to practice with the fifth or sixth graders, whichever they are, before we do the town meeting.
Mhm. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Any further
Welcome.
questions for our illustrious, not town manager, Pacc manager?
I'm
Hey,
town
promotion,
manager.
look at that. Accidental promotions always a bad look. Hearing none, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Future studio space. I have a bunch of comments on that one. And I believe Steve has some stuff to bring in. But let me tell you what happened in the last few days. First off, it's a little strange. I got a call to go to a breakfast meeting with what's his name? Dave McDonald.
Dave McDonald and Peter
Peter
Beardmore.
Beardmore and Mike, who's the architect who came here.
Oh,
No,
Damon is the
Damon
architect.
McQuaid,
No, not Damon, he wasn't there.
Mike Knoll, then,
Yeah,
he's the other.
Yeah.
Architect, is Damon McQuaid.
oh, okay, I thought he was the architect, maybe he's the contractor, actually, does the work there. But he was there, and they were basically, first off, I made the point that, thank you for inviting me, but I'm here as me with knowledge of whatever's public about Pacc. I'm not here representing Pacc, because I'm not allowed to do that. So they all said, yeah, that's fine, you know. They were looking for information and discussion. What's starting to sound like they will be looking towards, it doesn't mean anything's going to happen. The whole issue of the municipal building. There were too many people joining in when they tried to do the work here. So they're trying to partition it into much smaller problems. So one of the ideas, and this is Peter Beardmore is pushing this one, is that if a place can be separated out and put in its own building or existing space wherever, to do that, then when they end up with the final estimate for the whole municipal building, it's smaller because it actually has less in it. So that's sort of where the discussion was. I just went along, I gave him information if I had it, told him what he couldn't do, but nothing that wasn't already being discussed here and therefore public information.
Steve,
Yeah,
is it your understanding that if they did take a separate entity like ourselves and put it in a separate building, that the town would be the ones that would pay for this separate building and would pay for the cost to modify it?
they're not quite at that level, but where we've stood all along, so when we were doing this with the previous instance of this committee, is we are, and everyone else seems to be expecting, that the town provides us with a space with utilities and the usual kind of support.
Okay,
Within that envelope, we have to do things like soundproofing, special.
right,
So
adapting it to a
that's
studio.
And they got that again tonight, because I went to the building committee, whatever they're called this week, meeting. I told them I could only be there till 7:15. So they promptly rearranged their agenda to take advantage of me being there, which was, so I was asked some questions and I gave them still the same answers. However, there was one question which I'm uncomfortable with and told them I didn't have a proper answer. I didn't know the proper answer for it at this point. And that was, is the money that's in our fund restricted to only be used for the equipment in a studio, or could it be used for things like the building? We knew at some point such a question would come up.
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
Well, and that's why I answered it the way I did, because I
Yeah,
don't have an answer. I believe I know the answer, but we haven't discussed it amongst ourselves.
right.
My understanding is that we can discuss amongst ourselves is that money, when it comes from Comcast, most of it was capital infusion, is that what they called it?
Mhm.
So, that kind of money has to be kept for that kind of thing. But I have no idea if somewhere is written a charter that says thou shalt not use this for something else, because I know some packs, the town gets the money first, takes
Mhm.
some of it for whatever function they think they should have, and only passes some more on to the pack.
Mhm.
Ours doesn't do that, so thank you, we appreciate that. So we just have to be prepared both to listen to them, answer them carefully, and don't answer them if we can't answer them. We shouldn't be making the answers up, which is what I was really trying to do this evening. So, but they were kind enough to let me speak because I was there, and then I hit that little red button in the bottom right-hand corner, which is my favorite button that Zoom ever created. One that says leave meeting. So does anyone else? Yes, Steve has a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Told you that one, told you that one. Gotcha. So, Steve,
Well, Steve, I was just wondering, remember, and Joe, the time we went to Wakefield and their offices were held in the school, the high school, and then we went to another town,
Ready?
Reading, yes, where
Yeah.
it was some downtown
Storefront, yeah.
storefront was purchased, and I know they had revenue coming in from at least two cable providers.
Doesn't make any difference.
Okay, but it's,
The number of people, number of subscribers, no matter who they are in the town, is what counts. But they had
yeah,
nothing. I do not know, however, if either of them are 501c3s or
99% of 501c3s.
A lot
I
of
don't
them
know
are.
if they are,
no, I
but
don't know.
well, I was just wondering, like for that storefront one, if
The one that was-
they were paying rent out of that money that they got from the cable.
Say again?
I was wondering if they were using the cable money to pay for rent in downtown Reading.
No idea.
I would make an assumption that they do, but
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I think that's one of the precedents. I think it would be worthwhile to check with some of the studios we've gone to. For example, Sterling, they have a storefront in downtown Sterling that we went to. That's a very small studio, but it might be a good precedent because they're getting money from Lancaster and Sterling to see where they're getting the money for their studio. So, before we discuss it, I think we need to do some homework.
Oh, that's part of what Steve's got for us, I hope.
Some, I have some.
Steve, yeah.
All right.
Had this-
Well,
this
speaking
done
of renting, so one of the first things I did is I checked what was currently available in Lunenburg to rent. Lunenburg Crossing has places, but they won't tell me the cost. Pleasant Street Cross Stone Development has several sites from 1,000 to 15,000 square feet. That's $5 to $10 per square foot a year. The old chiropractic office on 1259 Mass Ave is 13,000 square feet, and that's almost $18. 1,300, thank you. And that's about almost $18 per square foot per year. The Mass Ave, the old Simon's Restaurant has the right amount of square feet, and there's no cost on that. Those are the only 4 places that are leasing in Lunenburg as of yesterday.
Okay.
what about?
What about the former medical?
These are the only ones listed.
Okay,
Stone Farm, I understand,
It's
is
just-
going to be converted to housing.
So, I mean, this was on the website. I went lease options in Lunenburg, and this is what.
Yeah.
I didn't call. We're only at the preliminary stages. So
Yeah.
what I did is, the next thing I did is I said, well, if we're gonna do a building, how much does a metal building cost? Because metal buildings usually cost anywhere from a half to 2/3 less than a full lumber building. So I found one site, and I have it here, you know, depending, 40 by 60 metal buildings, which is 2,400 square feet. This is just the frame, basically. The base price starts at 28, then you have to add windows and doors. You have to have a concrete foundation. You have to get it installed, and there's a delivery charge. So that's anywhere from $56,000 to $88,000. The question that I would have is, since we're a town department, we would have to do prevailing wages, and I looked up what the prevailing wages are, and they list them by occupation. So I said, oh, I'm not gonna,
Mhm.
you know, so that would be the thing. So then I found another site that gave the complete package. They will come in, which I don't think we can do because it's, as a town thing, we'd have to go out to bid and do prevailing wages. But to give you an idea, if we built it in Maricopa or Pinal County, that's where the prices are because of the permits.
Somewhere around here,
No, it's not even close.
No,
California.
California, no,
So
or
what happened?
Maricopa's Arizona.
What I liked is they broke it down into, the building was 42.5, but the prices of steel is going way through the roof, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be a lot higher. The foundation was 1,300, design of the foundation was
Yeah,
1,380. The building department verification permits, 1,240. The concrete work was 27.5. The one door that with installation, a garage door kind of thing was over 5,000. Walk-through door for us to walk through was 770. Insulating the roof and the walls, which we'd have to do a lot more because of the soundproofing, was 11,000. The building erection equipment and labor to fully erect was 20,000. So, you know, that just gives you ideas of what the different parts. The total cost does not include sales tax or permitting fees, was 104,000, which was $43 per square foot. I thought, you know, we're not there yet, but at least this was just an idea of what that kind of thing costs. That does not include anything inside the building, walls, plumbing, anything, connections to sewer, no,
Utilities, lighting.
nothing. All it is a building that's insulated.
So it's a big garage.
And when they say it's wonderful for a garage.
That's their job.
So I tried to figure out the property, I know, that they're talking about. I think it's 653 Mass Ave. It is not on the assessor's map at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I went through, yes, it's interesting how much people's houses are worth. There's a whole spreadsheet. I now know my neighbor's last name. So what I did is the surrounding land values were 75 to 89,000. So, and the current property tax rate is 1774.
Is that per acre or per half acre or just? It depends.
No, for the same basic size.
Okay, that's what I was trying to find.
You know what, it's off a little bit, but it was
Yeah.
like, they were about the same size, so,
Okay.
you know. So I said, so if we built the building and the whole thing was worth $250,000, that's taxes, we wouldn't pay taxes anyway, would we?
I
as a town?
wouldn't think so.
I don't know, but those would be the taxes we would have to pay per year. Because what I was thinking is, we can build something, but can we sustain it? So I
Yeah.
tried to look at what's a sustaining. Current mortgage rate is 2.5%. It's likely to go to 4 to 5. So a loan of 240,000, 30-year fixed was at 5% was 1342, and that's a wrong number. And I think that calculator was wrong. I have another number somewhere else.
What, the 1,300?
Yeah. I know, it could be right. Drilling and installing a well. I don't know if this, I asked, I don't think we can hook up to the town water. So that means,
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know. Someone told me we couldn't. I can't remember who. Well, if we had, well, then you'd have to pay for the connection. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
if we do a well, it's basically $25 to $65 a foot, depending on how hard and how deep they have to go. I'm assuming the house has a leach field or a septic system. That would have to be,
Typically, that's got to be redone.
right, and that's,
Yeah.
I mean, what I saw the average is $3,000 to $10,000, but that can be a lot more. The insurance, to do a rider for insurance is for $1 million is about $638 a year, which kind of matches what Leominster is doing. I'll get into that in a minute. So these are just ideas of charges. Commercial cleaning. Basically, it's $75 an hour for the most part. One site advertised, if you bid, oh, this is how they advertise. They told people how to advertise for cleaning. If you're bidding on an office of 6,000 square feet, all carpeted with one bathroom, they take out their own trash and recyclables, small kitchenette, microwave, and they want service 3 days a week. That's $490
Per week?
Yeah.
A week?
per week.
Per week?
Yes, I'm telling you.
We're in the
We
wrong
would have
business,
2,500 square feet, so multiply their estimate by 4, that's almost 2,000 a month. And believe it or not, in Leominster, their complete trash, building, landscaping, plowing, cleaning is 1,300 a month.
Okay.
So this is on the high side,
So
but it's
14,000 a year, something.
yeah,
I'm not
like
doing
that.
something.
Heating versus oil, gas, that we haven't made that decision, as we all know. General maintenance, we would need to hire as needed, plumbing and all that. So I did that, and then I did get in touch with Carl over at Leominster. Basically, they are a 501c3-1292, so they don't pay any taxes. They built their building, and he explained the whole process. They saved their money for 20 years. And then an opportunity came, and they spent a lot of money just fixing the space and then putting up the building. He said, all told, for 4,500 square feet, it was $1.5 million, which comes out to about $333 per square foot, which I took 4,500, divided it into the whatever.
Is that
So-
the shell or does that? include
No, that
the-
included everything. It's land, building, inside, outside equipment, and fees.
Okay.
So I said, if we built a 2,500 square foot building at $333 a square foot, that would be $832,500 and a 30-year mortgage. That's why the different mortgage number. A 30-year mortgage at today's rate of 2.5% would be $3,125 a month, basically over 30 years. Operating costs, heat and electricity, not Unitil. So their cost is like a third of ours. Okay, is $1,400 a month. Water and sewer is $51 a month. And I will send this to everyone. I just got it this afternoon. Internet was $400 a month. Insurance for just the building is $108 a month. What's expensive, he said, is you need to add all kinds of liability for equipment and liability for you, liability for the workers, and it's a different liability for the job title because it's different things they're doing. The trash, building, landscaping, plowing is about $1,300 a month.
Everything's about 1,300 bucks.
Yeah, well, he was, I know we were interested in a truck. He said if they were to do it over again, nowadays they have mobile units. They said almost everyone is now just going to mobile units unless you're a big time operator and you need
That's
3
the
or 4
laptop.
people. But that truck 6 years ago cost them $45,000 to have it all redone. Fitchburg, I guess, is looking for a new space. He's going to talk to them. The lighting structure cost them $20,000 to $30,000 extra because they had to reconstruct the load because the lighting load
Load in what sense?
and the
Ray?
trusses and all that. They had to
Gravity or
reinforce,
electricity?
gravity. They said, because
Huh.
it also has to do, with the concrete base.
Yeah.
And all that has to
Right.
handle the load. And if you start putting in a bunch of these and there's other things, it gets kind of heavy. He said, if you're going to do this, keep a hefty cash reserve for the unknowns and contingencies. Because he says they're all over the place, things you just,
At least 20%.
yeah, well, he said a
Any
hefty.
project like this.
So Leominster TV, because Faith brought this up and he did mention this. They have had a studio at the high school. The high school renovated 3 times. It was taken out of the budget all 3 times, and Leominster Access paid for the renovation and the studio 3 times. So the school paid nothing. and out of the Leominster Access TV's budget. And that's the only reason why they had a studio. So, because you brought it up. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I mean, this is very preliminary, but it is basically just the operational cost and cleaning for them is $32.59 a month. And that doesn't include mortgages or payments or salaries, equipment, or anything like that. Just heat, electricity, water, sewer, internet, the basic building insurance, and trash, landscaping, plowing. We're talking over $3,000 a month. Some of those costs for us would be the same because trash, building, landscaping, plowing, it's, you know, it's about the same there. Heat and electricity could be better, but we have a different electrical service than they do.
I know.
Yeah.
And our internet, they do it, they don't do Comcast, they have Verizon.
We don't have that in town.
Right, so, you know, it's hard to say if ours would be more or less.
It's on my street.
Oh, okay, it's on the edges of town.
I have FiOS for my telephone line.
Okay.
How stupid. can you be?
So, so I didn't go into a lot of details,
no,
but I
this is
tried to find,
wonderful.
that's why I like the building. I went with, what's the average building? And then I
Yeah.
found someone who quoted one for a real one.
Right.
So you could see that, well, it's only $87,000 for a building. We could
Right.
do that. Oh, yeah, but
Right.
the reality is
Yeah.
That's the beginnings of your problem.
that's the.
Right.
that's where it starts, and then there's, and then as a town thing, we'd have to go out to bid, and then there's.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's quite a undertaking.
My concern, I'll be honest, as I started looking at this, I think I mentioned it to you at one point, is not the building, it's
Sustainability.
sustaining it.
Good work. Thank you, Faith.
And, you know, the fact that you want to invest in new equipment, and equipment is going to change every 2 or 3 years, like we're doing now with the, you know, it's going to.
We don't have capital infusion coming in.
No,
Most
and
likely
he agrees
for the
that
next
the
contract.
prices from the cable companies is going down and will continue to.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And
Oh, really?
they're in the final
Franchise fee,
stages of their contract.
Mhm.
I said, I
Oh,
think
are
we
they?
had, yeah, they're, so you might want to contact them, and see what they're offering him. And I think I said we had like 4 to 6 years left.
I think it's about 6 is my guess.
I thought it was 6, but
Yeah.
you negotiate before the 6.
Yeah, I heard that they are not passing out 5% anymore.
Nope.
I think we were one of the few that at the end of the,
Yeah, we had a really annoying committee there.
Mm. Well, thank you, Steve, for all your work. You've done a lot of
you know, I
research.
figured-
Oh, sorry, it's okay.
You know, we're looking at every possible option we can for the, whatever the building committee decides to do and how the town is going to handle moving everyone around. My thought was to look into this one option so that when people go, well, why don't you? We
pull
can
it
say,
out of
whoa,
our back
whoa, whoa,
pocket.
whoa,
Right.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's fine, but who's going to pay for the cleaning?
Well, here's the real picture.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The town says, well, we'll do all the things, we'll do the cleaning, we're not going to charge you for water, we're not going to charge, okay, that's okay, but now you go. Does that make sense, Mr. Walker?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so there we go, that's my report.
This is what we
thank
need
you.
in our back pocket, that we all
Well,
understand,
and on the Zoom, no one's gonna watch this. anyway.
ready to respond.
We
to
have
people.
watchers.
So
Yeah.
thank you for that. That, if you could.
I
turn your
will,
chicken
the
scratchings
the
into-
new one that I got today, I will scan and send it to everyone so you can add it to
Okay.
your thing.
Thank you.
That's why, Faith, I sent you a separate email to make sure you got all the documents.
Yep, I appreciate it.
It's
Thank
hard to
you.
do this.
Yeah,
Is the old family practice building on Mass Ave available?
That was not listed. That's the
I
one
think that
near
was
the,
sold.
Was it?
Is it still, I don't know, they
I
were
don't think
keeping
there's
up the
anybody in
grounds.
there. Oh.
I'd like to know if Chapter Lane what would lease out some of their space that they're not using.
there's somebody just gone in there. There's a big poster on the
Oh,
front,
Darn.
but Chapter Lane himself is keeping some of it. He still does vehicle maintenance. And in fact, if anyone knows how to get in touch with him, I would.
See him every day.
Yeah,
Sure.
Can you get him, get him?
No, ask
come?
him about
I've got a
See,
truck that needs.
those were the ones that were
Well,
listed.
oh,
I'm
yours-
That's the word.
That I
Right.
bought from him,
Oh,
so.
okay.
I'm
if he's
sure
still
there are
doing
plenty of
maintenance, I would
things
love
people
it.
are working
That's your
behind the
house,
scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
No,
that,
no, no. I'm
that
thinking about this
building,
other
I'm
thing.
sure
sure.
has very high ceilings and I know he's got a lot of real estate in that building. So I don't know what his plans are, but
Does he own it? I have no idea.
yes, he does.
Okay.
I'm
Who?
pretty sure he does.
Chapter
Which,
Chapter
which
Lane.
one? Oh, Chapter Lane. Now, were you guys talking about the
leasing.
Reliant offices?
That's being used.
Yeah, I saw cars there the other day.
Okay,
UMass Memorial's in there. Plus,
oh, okay.
I think it's in Fitchburg. It's not in Lunenburg.
That's right.
No, it's in, well, they called it Lunenburg when it used to be Reliant.
When I went there, they called it Fitchburg.
Huh.
Surprised me because I live on Pleasant Street. You go down fast enough, you end up in their parking lot. Okay, one other thing, just as a gem, so we understand this, we will constantly get issues pointed at us that prevailing wages can cause issues. The other thing is if you restore more than half a building, you have to bring it up to
Cool.
the present code, which can include.
Which I included sewer and water and all
But no, but I'm talking about earthquake sprinklers and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
We ran into this with our church thing.
that. You wouldn't have sprinklers in the studio. You'd have fire suppression.
Uh,
You wouldn't
Yeah,
have water.
yeah, no, you, well,
You'd have to have
I
fire
really would,
suppression.
I really don't know, but it makes sense to have fire suppression.
There is stuff specifically for electronic type
Right,
equipment
yeah.
rather than
Yeah,
just.
I'm sure
Okay.
that's more expensive.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. For prevailing wage issue, I was told by somebody, if they build you a building to your requirements and then lease it to you, then you're outside the issues that you're talking about.
Oh,
And
what they're talking about,
Yeah.
the gentleman you spoke with. Yes,
So,
but there's also issues that can happen prior to
oh,
that.
I know.
So,
I'm just trying to pass on
yeah,
what I've been learning recently. Best defense, as far as I can tell, is to be at least as well informed as anybody who comes to us.
yes,
So we are prepared and don't accidentally say, yes, that's wonderful. If it,
yep.
anybody have anything else on future studio space?
I just was wondering if they're still talking about or thinking about the school here, or whether they've given up on that.
The building committee, I can tell you what I've learned recently from them. One is, and this is where I learned about this 40B housing thing, is that's going to stretch town resources. And they may want TC Passios back for the school. I have no idea if that's true or not. But if you think about 200 plus units coming in, if they have kids, that's going to stress our brand
Mhm.
middle school. I'm just giving
Yeah.
you that as an example. So what's going to happen with this, I have absolutely no idea at all.
Okay.
The point was also made by somebody sitting at the table here. We're going to have somewhere sensible to go, no matter what they do. So even if they're going to restore all of this, we've got to be somewhere sensible so that we can put our equipment in safely, dry.
There's a thing to, if you talk to Mr. Chaplain, to say, if they decide they're just gonna renovate the building, is it possible we could use a space there while they're renovating?
Mhm.
Because he would be receptive.
That should be
sharing.
the building committee doing that.
Yeah. No, float the idea.
That's not the idea. I need to talk. He wants to talk. Oh, my truck.
You know, Peter's beautiful. Chap.
No, I didn't know that. He is?
One of his chapel.
Damn, I'd have smacked him around the back of the head if I'd known.
Stay in town.
You've got a thing up on your screen.
Sense.
You run out of time? Oh,
No, it's go to the iCloud.
Oh,
It's an Apple thing.
cool, I think. Okay, sufficient. I suspect we should leave future studio space on the agenda. Given what we understood today, Steve, I'll probably ask you if you wouldn't mind ordering the Zoom for our next meeting and putting out an agenda for it. Come on, you do that.
How do you order the Zoom?
You gotta get in touch with the Zoom administrator. It's Page
Heidi?
Skinny.
Is that right?
Think-
Or was that the previous one?
Let me forward you her
All
email.
right.
One of them disappeared.
Joe,
Yes, there's a new person.
I gotta do the Zoom and then I have to have an agenda, which has to go out to Kathy Herrick.
And Ellen
Wherever
Griffin.
they've been sent to the previous.
Yeah,
ones.
well, sure.
Ellen-
Kathy,
And Ellen Griffin.
Has to go
I
out
believe that's how you say it.
before the close of business on Thursday. for a
I
Monday
know it's
meeting.
3 days. So you would like roll call, public comments, communications, approve, we have to approve the February, May,
Yeah, and this
February.
one.
February and April.
Correct.
We have managers report,
Yeah.
discuss future studio space.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you can think of?
Next meeting,
Next meeting.
can we, what are we doing for the next meeting? Are we doing the first Monday of the month at 7 o'clock again?
I just would like to say for myself,
Yeah, no,
Yes. we need to set a date and keep it there. Because if we change it every year,
I'm trying not to.
I screw myself again.
No, we're desperately trying not.
Just set up a time.
Pete, I had to drive in from Worcester.
It's a good drive.
I haven't been home since noon.
Oh,
Are we,
No, I'm not. I'm retired.
are we okay still
You know-
with 7 o'clock?
Is the building committee gonna meet again on that?
They're
Monday?
meeting first and third of every month. So,
It would.
so
behoove
what
us-
if we met on the second week?
no,
No, he
we
can't.
already went through that the last meeting.
I think 7 o'clock.
Okay,
7 o'clock would be,
Not for me. I
Oh, it's
vote-
not?
I vote no. I like to go
like what?
5.
Do 5 as long as we can be done in an hour, but that may not work for you.
Well, I'll rearrange my schedule, so it'll work.
5 o'clock is a good time to have it.
And
That's
you
just, I'm not on the committee. I'm sorry.
You might as
no,
well.
it's fine with me. I'm flexible as long as I can keep participating by Zoom. Because now that my right knee is better, my left knee is acting up.
That's what usually happens.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm trying to work up the courage to,
Bear in mind that Zoom's only available till July the 15th, I believe. And
Yep.
Governor Baker has a connection and changes the rules.
If we met at 5, we have to be done
By
by
6.
6.
That's not typically not going to work. but
it used to be our meetings were about an hour long.
Yeah, but now we have that building thing going on,
Yeah, right.
It's been an hour and a quarter.
because it's the
tonight.
building thing that takes up most of the time.
How about 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
I can do any time in the afternoon.
Why don't we do one other smart thing? And that is wait in the hopes that we get somebody joining the committee very quickly. And make our long-term decision based on that.
Speaking of that, you need to write.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jeff?
Because Jeff asked in his letter if you'd be told what the
Oh, yes.
procedure was. to
That's what
resign.
I was, but I needed it to come through here first.
Yes.
Because of
Let
communication
him know. I'll get in touch with Paul.
and chat to them. Oh, I'll put that in the minutes. And again,
He goes to my church,
Get my
the
truck.
guy that owns it. He goes to my church.
Just want Mike and Mark.
I
Mike.
don't- I don't know which
Mike.
one. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
meanwhile, back at the ranch on this.
First
case,
off,
TC
so when-
says, what are we doing for our next meeting?
The next meeting is going to be May.
Yes,
You still want to have it on May 2nd.
yes, I believe.
So did you want to go at 5? I mean, you can go at 5 o'clock. That's fine. Does that work for you? All
Much better.
Okay,
right, at
Five
5.
good for you? Okay. We can make an effort to keep it to an hour, but I don't like restricting the meeting.
Um,
Actually, the worst thing is I could just stay here and join in.
Well, it would behoove you then to contact the chairperson and say,
Yeah.
we're gonna meet from 5. I should be on Zoom by about 6:30 or
Yeah,
so if you
right.
have questions. So they know,
Mhm.
okay, he's gonna be here a little bit later. We'll
Yeah.
wait those questions
Right.
for when you get there. That's all.
Yeah.
Because their meeting's gonna go 6 to 8. I think.
Steve, you having the band concerts here again?
No clue. I refuse to answer that on the grounds I might incriminate myself. I answer that line. Move to adjourn.
Second,
Oh, it doesn't need a second. I remember you saying that, Steve.
and I've been told.
Well, we're gonna do a second anyway.
I've been
Thank
told-
you. Then I'll second it.
I think we already had a second, but anyway,
Okay.
what you don't need is discussion. So hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 I heard that. We're out of here. Thank you
All right.
all very much.
And thank you all for all your work.
Ah, thank you, Faith. Let's see, put this here. Now I have